Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whatever time you're joining us today. Welcome to our Pricing Strategies one-on-one class, where we'll be handling the foundations of setting your pricing. Here we'll talk about knowledge you need, we'll talk about your struggles, we'll talk about what you need to change in order for your results to become your reality. Hi, I'm Nituchukwu Onoha, and I'm the founder of KB Matrix and the Business of Hair Academy. I'll be taking you guys on this session today, as this is foundational knowledge every business owner should know. We do have other webinars coming up, so if you stay tuned and continue on the journey with us, you'd learn a lot more over the next coming weeks and months. So, in this session, we're going to be handling why talented hairstylists are broke. Oh, this is one of the most important ones. A lot of people show up regularly for their businesses. They're very good at their skill, but they're still broke. We'll also move on to discussing the difference and understanding the difference between revenue in your business as a hairstylist and your profit. Then we'll talk about hairstylist archetypes. This one helps you understand how you show up in your business. What kind of stylist are you? And what is holding you back? And what can you lean into a lot more? Like, what's your strength as a hairstylist? And then we'll also move on to, after discussing the archetypes, we'll talk about the mindset shifts that you need in order for that outcome you want for your business, that dream, that goal, how much you want to be getting for your business, how much business growth you want to see through your business to finally start becoming your reality. And then we'll move on to the hidden costs of running a business. This is like the unspoken element. A lot of people don't talk about this because they do not know what those hidden costs are. They show up every day, they go home, they get the money. At the end of the month, they can't account for where the money is gone, but something has eaten the money. So we're going to help you understand those things that eats your money, eats money from your business behind the scenes, so that you can start tracking them and it stops being hidden and starts becoming business expenditure, right? And then we're going to talk about the importance of knowing your numbers in order for you to set your prices. A lot of people set their prices based off comparison, based off what's being said online, based off pressure, based off fear, based off like even lack, like they need the money, right? But we're going to help you understand, start thinking like a business owner and understand your numbers in order for you to see the reflection in how your business generates income. And then we'll finally come to the most important part of this class, building your specific pricing strategy that helps you with your specific business model grow long term. And then your takeaway from this is that you're going to leave this webinar with practical tips that you can implement every single day in your business. Not that you should start doing it every day, which is, I'm going to tell you the secret at the end of using a system to do all you need to do in order for you to still show up with your business, but not lose out on a lot of time and not feel like you've turned yourself into a computer. So let's begin. If you're wondering if this webinar is for you, I'm going to say some of these points out, and then you can decide which one resonates with you. Is this something you're struggling with? Is this like an unspoken fear within you as a business owner that, oh my God, I don't really know what I'm doing? So the first one is you are getting clients, but your bank account is not reflecting how hard you work. So let's say in a month you've gotten 15 to 20, 25 clients, but you can't really account for where that money is gone. You just know it's gone. You don't know how much you paid yourself from that money. You don't know how much went back into your business. You don't know how much went into expenditure. It's just gone, right? And then the next one is clients are always asking for discounts, or they'll tell you, oh, is this how much you charge? I can get it cheaper. The funny thing is, most people that experience this always experience this with first time clients, right? They've not really come into your business regularly, but the first time they're finding you, they automatically want discounts. And the next one is you're talented, but your skill doesn't quite match your income, sorry, doesn't quite match your skill level. So you're really good at what you do, but you feel like at this point your your skills should have gotten you at least, even if not wealthy, based off the point where you're at, but at least be able to sustain your livelihood. This is a lot of the struggle of a lot of hairstylists, and we're going to talk about it in this webinar. Then we're also going to discuss why you're afraid of charging more. A lot of hairstylists are afraid of charging more. They can see the cost of living is increasing. They can see that things cost more now. The products cost more. The bills cost more. But there's this anxiety to ask the client, oh, you have to pay an extra £15 now for your service because everything costs more. So what happens is you pay that extra, not knowing from the money you're meant to pay yourself. Also, you hesitate before sending your prices. So whenever someone says, oh, how much is your price? You feel this anxiety about sending them your prices, because you feel that if you do send that price, you're going to lose that client, right? If you do set your prices to what it's supposed to be, then the clients are going to walk away. And then lastly, which is the most important element of what we're talking about that a lot of people feel and don't even know, is that you don't know if you're actually making a profit with your business after paying for expenditure, or if you're just winging it. So at the end of the day, you ask yourself, where did all the money go? So you're not questioning yourself about whether you had some clients last week, last month, 2 weeks ago, but you don't know where all the money went, right? And so that is why we're doing this webinar, so you can start to see things from the lens of a business owner and have that honest conversation with yourself and start growing your business in the way that you need it to grow in order for you to start getting your coins, in order for you to start getting your money into your business. So moving on to the first topic, why talented hairstylists are still broke. So you're talented, no one's questioning that. You do really good braids, you know how to do beautiful frontal installations, you know how to treat hair, you know how to do different things when it comes to Afro hair and hairstyling, but you're not getting your money. At the end of the month, when you open your purse or open your bank accounts, you ask yourself, where did all the money go? Right? And I'm going to tell you the fundamental reasons why this is happening to you, right? It is because you're leaning on your talents to get you your money. But what actually gets money, aside from just having clients in the door, is having the knowledge of the business you're running. If you don't have knowledge of the business you're running, you just spend so much time basically working in your business and not on your business, right? So that's even the last point on this slide. But anyways, so you observe that you price based off emotions and not strategy. If we ask you today, pick any random service you offer, what price do you charge for it? Is your pricing consistent, or do you change your price based off the client and based off how much money you have left in your account? Do you change your price based off the fear that clients are going to walk away? That's one of the things. If you pick that service and you ask yourself, why did I set this price? Was it based off a strategy? Or was it based off fear, based off emotions, whatever the emotions are? Was it based off emotions? Then you also ask yourself, do I even, from this £100 or £150 I charge for this service, what's my revenue? What's business expenditure? How much am I paying myself from this? How much is going back to be reinvested into the business? You don't know your numbers. That's the reality of a lot of people in the service-based industry, right? Especially when it comes to beauty services. You now find that you exchange time for money. We're going to talk about this particular one when we're talking about the hairstylist archetypes a lot more, right? We're going to talk about it because we need you to understand where you're losing out, where you are becoming the liability that your business has instead of becoming the asset that your business has. And then you copy other people's prices instead of calculating yours. So a few weeks ago, this conversation actually came up on our Business of Hair WhatsApp group. If you're not part of the WhatsApp group just yet, you should join that WhatsApp group, because a lot of valuable conversations are being had. A lot of hairstylists are gaining more knowledge and gaining more skill by just being there and supporting each other. So they're growing together as business owners and collaborating. So click the link in the caption below and join the Business of Hair Academy. Anyways, back to the webinar. A lady came on, one of the hairstylists we have on our community, came on to say she doesn't know how much to charge for her locks, and she had to ask others, how much do you guys charge for your locks? And that was when I realized something. She was taking the wrong approach, and that is the cornerstone of why we decided to even do this class. A lot of people don't know why they're setting the prices, and it's one of the things that leads to failure in business. If you don't do things strategically, you're just clueless, you're just showing up, you're just guessing. Your business is going to keep guessing with you, and you at some point you start guessing whether you're actually having growth in your business or whether you're just showing up and that's the reality you're at. And lastly, you find yourself working in your business and not on your business. A lot of hairstylists spend so much time. They wake up and they get dressed and they go and do the hair, which is beautiful. It's amazing. It's like a fundamental part of your business, because a lot of people start by being the sole stylist, the only stylist on their team before their team starts to grow. But if you don't take one day a week at least to really analyze your business performance, or at least use a system or a structure to be able to track what's going on in your business, months, years, weeks will go by, and you won't be able to actively say whether you're actually growing financially and business-wise, or whether you're just operating in your business. So now moving on to the revenue aspect of things. So a lot of hairstylists don't know the difference between revenue and profit. When a client comes into your salon, your home, wherever you offer your service, or whether you go to them, if you're a mobile hairstylist watching this, a lot of you don't know the difference between your business revenue and your business profit. So a lot of people I've spoken to count the whole cost of the service as their business profit, but that's not the truth. That's not your business profits. That's the revenue. That's money your business has generated that day, that week, that month. But that's not your business profit, because you've not calculated the necessary things. So let's talk about what the difference between the two is. So revenue is the total amount of money your business brings in before any expenditure or expenses are made, right? And then your profit is the gain left after you've paid all the costs of running your business, including paying yourself. So let me give an example. Let's say you completed 20 appointments in a month at £100. Each of those appointments cost you £100 to complete, or you were paid £100. So each of those appointments cost £100. Your business revenue in that month is £2,000. But we all know that you're not actually going to take home £2,000. Why? Because you've spent money buying edge control, you spent money buying hair lotion, hair cream, hair mousse, hair spray. You've spent money buying a new hair straightener if you need to, or repairing the old one. You've spent money buying a heating pad or a portable heater for your salon or for your workspace. You've spent money on your rent or your chair space. You've spent money on your business insurance that month. You've spent money on your business booking software. And then if you're doing your VAT taxes, you've also done that if that is applicable to your business. And then you've spent money on booking transactions fees as well, right? All of these did not even include you paying yourself. So by the time you remove that from that £2,000, all these extras, and pay yourself, which we're going to also add to the expenditure of your business, because it's your business. Remember, it's your business making the expenditure, not you. Your business is a totally different entity from yourself, right? So what you're left with is profit. So let's be realistic. If after everything I've just stated here, you're still left with the lump sum, then you're doing amazing in your business. But if you're left with a minus, which a lot of us are, because by the time you pay everything here, it's going to cost at least £250 to £500 a month, right? And then you're still going to pay yourself, which, except if you want to pay yourself below minimum wage, which, by the way, this price is going to now have to be, your business is running at a loss. So your business is not making any profit. But if you're getting, more money, if you're left with more money, then you have a profit, a gain left after you've spent money in your business. So that's that for the difference between revenue and profit in your business. Now let's move on to hairstylist archetypes and where you fall within. So I've narrowed down the 4 different types of hairstylists that we have in the industry. You pick. We're going to go over them in the next couple of slides. So I want you to be really honest with yourself in this particular stage. I want you to really think about it. I want you to really ask yourself, where do I fall into? And here's the thing, you might not fall into just one single archetype. You might realize that you're a mix of 2. Right? So I want you to really think about it and really ask yourself, where do I fall into? How does this apply to me? And which one do I want to become, or how do I want to change the archetype? You need to make the decision before we move on to the mindset shift. Okay, so we're going to start with the busy hairstylist. The busy hairstylist, she's always fully booked and she's fully tired, right? She's exhausted. He or she, whichever gender. But yeah, the busy hairstylist is exhausted. The income is never enough, so they keep showing up, they keep working. They don't have a system. So by 11 p.m., they're still responding to client inquiries about bookings. Like, I need to respond to this client so that they can book me tomorrow by 7 a.m. by 11, right? They don't have a system, the booking system. They don't have a system of tracking their business performance. They don't have a system in which their business operates, even for themselves. They work every day and even weekends. So the busy hairstylist is basically her business. Her business cannot operate without her. She's basically living her business. She's breathing her business. She has to show up every day in order for her to make ends meet financially. So this is the hairstylist that, if you are, we need you to come out of, because working every day does not serve your business financially, or does not serve your business in the way that it should grow. So I need you to ask yourself genuinely, do I have to show up every time? Do I always feel like my income is not enough, which makes me keep, and it's not by just like feeling like there's greed involved, but do you find yourself staying up by 12 a.m. responding to a client, trying to convince a client to book, because you don't have a booking system that automatically directs clients to go and book you for certain services? So you now find that you now have to be both the hairstylist doing the hair, and the booking system, and the customer service, and the reminder for the hair service, and the follow-up, and everything depends on you. So when I say you work all the time, I don't mean you're always braiding hair. I mean everything is around you. You are basically the channel. You're basically everything your business needs you to be, right? And you've not set up any system in order for you to have some sort of semblance of structure in your business, being everything for your business. I want you to tell yourself today that you're going to stop being everything for your business, and you're going to pull yourself out of your business's way in order for you to grow as a business owner and for your business to grow. Now let's move on to the next one, the cheap hairstylist. We've all seen them on TikTok, the every service for £35 hairstylist, the I'm doing everything for £20 this week hairstylist, right? These hairstylists tend to win clients on price. So they spend time reducing their prices in order to seem competitive. They are the ones that clients have told you, I can find it cheaper, right? They also constantly compete and compare with prices. So they want to be cheaper. They want to be the cheaper competition. They want to be the ones that clients keep running to when they want hairstylists that are cheap. So what happens with this hairstylist? They tend to work harder for less money. So it's still about the same time it's going to take you to finish a box braids hairstyle and charge your client £100. That is going to take this same hairstylist. But guess what? They're going to take £35 for that box braids, which means that in a month, if you need to serve 25 clients in order to hit your business income target, they need to do almost double that or 3 times that. So basically, this is not a sustainable business model. This is not a sustainable way to build your business, to grow your clientele, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. When you do the every service this week or every service this month is £35, when you get a client in the door for cheap, one thing is certain: you will almost always find it difficult to raise your prices. So let me give an example. If I came to your salon and you offered me box braids for £35, and the next month you're asking me for £100 or £90 for that same service, here's what I'm going to do as a client. I'm going to walk away and either find another cheap hairstylist, right, that is still starting off in the whole cheap race thing, or I'll go and find a stylist that knows her worth and charges that £90 at first, because I'll feel like this person deserves value for that money because they know their worth, right? Compared to you that has charged me £35 and now you want to take my £90. I won't feel like it's fair. I'll feel like I'm being cheated and feel like I'm being manipulated, and that is what will make me leave you. So doing the cheap hairstylist model, being the cheap hairstylist as an archetype, it's not going to serve you or your business sustainably. You'll be physically stressed, mentally stressed, financially stressed, emotionally stressed, and you feel like you are stuck. Okay, so I need you, if this is you, I need you to be honest with yourself today and really point out that this has been you in the past. And immediately after this webinar, you're going to start doing the practical tips at the end, because this is not going to be you after this webinar. Okay, so you're not going to keep attracting price sensitive clients. What we want is, we want clients that understand the value you bring into their life as their hairstylist and are willing to pay you for that value. So if this is you today, write it down. This stops now. I'm no longer the cheap hairstylist. I'm no longer the one that people negotiate price with. This stops now. And now we're going to move on to the next one, which is the confident hairstylist. This hairstylist, sometimes what you find in their journey is that they start off cheap, right? They initially don't have a pricing structure, and over a couple of weeks, months, years, they realize that they've been cheating themselves as business owners. So what do? They go back to the drawing board and they tell themselves, how long do I want to keep being like this? And so they beat themselves emotionally and all of that into becoming confident with their prices, because they know that if they keep operating from an emotional perspective, they will almost never grow. So the confident hairstylist, she has her structured prices. If she's offering medium hair box braids hair service, she charges £120, it's £120, right? If she's serving small braids, and she's charging £150, regardless of the client, the day, the time, the month, it's that price, right? She's confident about her price. She's non-negotiable about speaking and saying, this is who I am, this is how much I'm charging, and that's it. So her prices are communicated confidently, which is why you now see them on booking systems, on apps like KB Matrix, right? Where they've put their prices clearly. They are not scared of how clients will initially see them and see their prices, because you know what? They already know that those clients that are willing to pay them exist. And they have been getting clients that are willing to pay them their money. So those ones that want the cheap hairstylist are not for them. Those clients that want the cheap hairstylist are not for them. And so they don't feel any sort of guilt for setting their prices confidently. They're going to set their prices and keep moving. They also understand their business costs. So they've done a bit of background work. How much is it costing me to run this business? How much should I spend on these bendable rollers? How much should I spend on this hair dryer? How much did I spend on this straightener? How much did I spend on this Dyson product? And they now know, okay, my business needs to pay for this cost, not me. And that's how it works. So their confidence comes from having a system from finally removing themselves out of the liability seats for their business and finally setting up systems that will help them. You don't see confident hairstylists up by 9 p.m. negotiating prices with clients. No, they're gonna, when a confident hairstylist, when a client says, oh, I want to book box braids, they're gonna send them the link of their bookings profile, or they say, oh, you can go book me on the KB Matrix app. My prices are there. And that's most likely the end of that conversation, except that the client now wants to ask specific questions about color or length or all of those things. They've literally they're bold about how they put out their prices. That is the confident hairstylist. Now, the last one is the CEO hairstylist. And this is the hairstylist I want you guys from today to start working every single day in your business to attain. Okay, the CEO believes in structure. They love structure. They know their business cannot function and grow without structure. And this is where everybody should aspire to be if you want to think like a wealthy beauty service provider. Okay, they know their numbers. They know how much it costs them to run their business. They know how much physically being in their salon costs them. They know how much their marketing costs. They know how much it costs to pay their staff. They know where money is leaking. They even know the hidden cost of running their business. Yes, so they know all these things. They review their prices regularly, because guess what? Cost of living crisis does not wait for your business to review its prices. So you have to review your prices and make sure that you meet up. If last week you bought a tub of Shine and Jam for £5 and this week it's now £6.50, then there's a £1.50 that somebody has to pay. And if your business on the clients that you're charging for that service you provide don't cover for the £1.50, you end up paying it from your own salary. And that's not how business owners operate, okay? The CEO understands how to create demand around their business. They understand that, yes, they provide hair services, but they're basically marketers of that hair services. And then they make decisions in their business based off data. They know how many clients come into their door. They know their slow season. They know their most booked hairstyle. They know the money maker. They know the least money maker. They know where they are losing money, which service is costing them money, because you know that you can stand for the same exact number of hours and a particular service is costing you more money than another one. They think long term. They understand what services can I maintain in my salon that will keep getting me money, that will keep doing what I need it to do. So their business, they don't believe in working harder. They believe in building stronger and better systems to surround their business with. Now, moving on to the best part in this webinar, which I believe if you've not been taking notes, I believe you should take out your notebook and your pen and write some things down today. Okay, so this mindset shift is like a mild mindset shift. We're still going to do a lot more over the next couple of pricing webinars that we're going to be doing. This is the 101 class, remember. So I want you to ask yourself today, have you asked yourself, what does my business need to charge in order for it to be profitable and sustainable? I'm going to tell you we've already described profits in the past, but I'm going to tell you what sustainable means. Sustainable means in order for your business to survive, in order for your business to pay you, for you to still wake up every day and feel like, okay, I want to keep growing this business. Because here's what's happened. If you're burnt out, if you're discouraged, if at any point you feel, oh my God, I can't do this anymore, then your business is not going to survive, right? So you need to make sure that the systems you're putting in place is not milking you as a human being, that your business now is struggling to survive and to remain sustainable and to sustainably produce and generate income for you and revenue. So I want you to stop asking yourself, what should I charge? Whenever a client comes to you, that's not the question you should be asking from now on. The question you should be asking from now on is, what does my business need to charge to be profitable and sustainable? So you need to have profits in order for your business to grow. Okay, so this is the two pillars that you need to have in mind: profit and sustainability. So when next you want to charge £35 for box braids, ask yourself, is this profitable for my business? And then how would this price help my business grow? This is just the background. This doesn't mean that you should completely set a price based off just this two, but this is the mindset question you should ask yourself. Because I want you to understand something. Your clients will pay for your service, but your business pays for your future. Okay? So your business is the one that would pay you a salary. It's the one, if you're working full-time in your business, you also need a pension, you need sick leave, you need business insurance, you need some sort of employee insurance from your business. And if your business does not cover this, then you spend 20, 30, 40 years working in the same business, and at the end of the day you have nothing to show for it. You know, you can't really say this is what I've been able to attain. So now coming to how to think like a CEO. Yeah, write this down. Right, whenever you're thinking about prices, what are my current business costs? What is my business currently costing me as of today, as of 2026, right? What profit do I need to make? Profit, not revenue. Remember, profit. What profit do I need to make in order for my business to remain sustainable? Then, is this service worth the time it takes? Remember, I said earlier that you could do two separate services for the same amount of time, right? But one is making you money and the other is losing you money. If you don't fully understand that now, stay tuned with us, join our community. We're going to talk about it in the next pricing class, and I need you to come open-minded and like a sponge, ready to soak in so much knowledge and go and squeeze out into your business and change how your business operates. Then think about, how can I increase my revenue without burning out? Remember, we've already defined what revenue is, how much your business is generating monthly. How much your business is generating, that's your revenue. So your revenue still includes your business expenditure, but how can you increase that without you burning out, without waking up and feeling like you're about to drown and your business is killing you and you're tired of standing and every part of your body aches because you've served 15 clients in a week? You know, instead of finding a way to make sure that the services you offer can cater to 5 that will pay for that same revenue targets that you want to have. Now, how do I build a business that lasts? That's that long-term goal, okay? That long-term growth mindset, that long-term shift. That's what I want you to be thinking about as a business owner, because you need to understand this, yeah? The biggest difference between somebody that thinks as a hairstylist operating and working in her business and somebody that thinks as a CEO of a business that happens to provide hair services is that the hairstylist focuses on today's appointment. A CEO focuses on building a profitable business for the next 5 to 10 years. So a CEO is thinking, oh, I'm starting with this salon now, but in the next 2 years, I want to have 2 more branches over there. Then in the next 3, 4, 5 years, I want to have about 5, 6 branches. Okay, how can I make that happen? And for you to make that happen, it's not by guesswork. It's not by setting random prices and hoping for luck. It's about being strategic about every single thing you're doing in your business. And then when we come about this aspect of how do I, remember this point I made here, how do I increase my revenue without burning out? Yeah, we're going to talk about the main cornerstone of what I want you to think about today. Being fully booked is not bad. And if fully booked is what you want, then I really hope that you get fully booked. And I want you to go, if you haven't done that yet, go and register for our client retention training, because you would need that to be fully booked, okay? Join our community. Our community manager will send you the client retention link and you watch it and implement it in your business. That's how you'll be fully booked. But fully booked is not the goal. I want you to know that being fully booked is not the cornerstone of growing your business. Being consistently profitable is. So I use these two examples, Stylist A and Stylist B, to explain this point. I said Stylist A serves 8 clients in a week, which means Monday to, let's say, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, she's working. So she charges each of these clients £100 for the service she has provided. So stylist A has made a revenue of £800, right? And then stylist B had 5 clients. So stylist B has is the CEO client. I should have written it down in a bracket here. Stylist B is the CEO client. She knows the services that are her money makers. So she puts those services out there more. That's the service people know her for. That's the service people come to her salon for, right? So she now knows she can charge more with this service and cater to less people so that she does not feel like overwhelmed and tired and burnt out and stressed and all of the negative feelings that, or negative effects of how a person could feel drained. So now she now says, I'm going to serve only 5 clients a week, and each client I'll charge £180. So she served 3 clients less than stylist A, but she has made £100 more than stylist A. Okay, so I want you to ask yourself today, as you're watching this, ask yourself, who has more time left for family, left to hang out with the girls, left to learn a new skill, left to go brush up their skill or take another course to improve their business? Who has more time to even take a walk in the evenings and enjoy slow time with their family, their husband, their children? Who has more time? Who is working harder? Obviously, stylist A. If you don't know who has more time, I'm going to answer it. Stylist B clearly has more time because she has less people to serve. We talk about who is more profitable. We can see that stylist B has literally served 5 clients and 3 clients less than stylist A, but she has made more than stylist A in revenue, which gives her a higher chance of having more profit at the end of her expenditure. So remember that revenue is not profit. And when I asked this question in our live class and the group chat, they initially thought, oh, stylist B is more profitable. The maths behind this could mean that stylist A is more profitable. It depends on stylist B's expenditures. Remember that. But anyways, in this aspect, in this example, we're just showing the revenue. I didn't spell out what their profit is because there's a lot of things that are behind their businesses individually that could impact their expenditure. If you want to know, we have our TikTok page as well, where you could watch for like relaxing, valuable videos where you can understand what influences hairstylist prices. We're also going to talk about it in following classes as well. And then who is likely to avoid burnout? Definitely stylist B, because we can see that she's serving less people than stylist A, right? There are 7 days in a week. Stylist A is serving 8 clients. There are 7 days in a week. Stylist B is serving only 5 clients. So she has 2 days off. If she's serving the 5 clients on separate days, if she's serving the clients on the same day, then she could have 3-4 days off and have time for herself and her family, right? So now we move on to the hidden cost of running a business. This is what I like. It's like the difficult aspect where people don't really talk about, but there's a lot of hidden costs that you don't sit down and take account of, and it costs you so much with your business. So the costs we know, this slide has stuff to do with the cost we know. The other slide is the hidden cost. So the cost we know is the business overhead. So the shop or chair rent, the council tax, the heating, the bin disposal, products cost, the hair extensions, if you supply hair extensions, shampoos, gel, cleaning products, laundry products, gloves, right? The equipment, if you have hair dryers, if you have washing bowls, if you have straighteners, if you have salon furniture, combs, everything else that is equipment based goes into that cost. And then business expenses, where you're using your business booking platform, which you pay for monthly. If you're on the paid tier for KB Matrix, there's also the marketing and advertising, which you won't need a lot of if you're also on KB Matrix. And then insurance, accountants, business license, all of this are the known costs. Okay, now let's move on to hidden cost of running your business. So the hidden cost of running your business that you have never actually sat down to think about, and I'm going, when if each cost I'll talk about, I'm going to tell you the real life roles, the real life job roles that exist for those costs, so you actually know that those costs actually cost your business money without you paying attention to it. So answering inquiries, like a receptionist. So whenever a client messages you, either you're a customer service agent or you're a receptionist. So basically the time you spend answering inquiries over and over and over and over again is a hidden cost. Let me give an example. For a lot of hairstylists that take their bookings on WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok, calls, DMs, random places, they spend thousands of their time a week. Yeah, I'm not this math is not correct, but hundreds and thousands of minutes, right? Answering different clients the same exact, answering the same exact question to different clients. So if a client comes on WhatsApp to say, oh, how much is box braids? And another client is asking on Instagram and another client is asking on TikTok, you find that you've spent at least 2 minutes to respond to each of these different people. Okay, so you're responding to each of them separately. Compare this to a stylist that has a bookings platform. Let's say she uses KB Matrix or any other, maybe her website, right? And clients want to book a service and she just sends them the link. Here's the booking link. Here's my profile link for on the KB Matrix app. Here's my profile link. You can see my prices there. And she doesn't spend that same amount of time. So she has time to actually recuperate. She has time to take a course. She has time to attend this webinar, right? So that is, you're basically either the customer service or the receptionist of your business. Now, client consultation. Now, this client consultation, a lot of hairstylists do not charge for this. Right, a client comes and you can legit spend 15 to 20 minutes, answering questions about their hair type, about this, about that, about this, about that. That's time you could be spending in your business. These are hidden costs. I'm not telling you to go and put 20 pounds on everything. I'm just trying to enlighten you on the hidden costs of your business. Now, the time you use to prepare for your appointment, a lot of hairstylists can relate that yes, doing box braids could take 6-7 hours of your time, but that's not all the time you spend doing the hair. You probably spent about 30 minutes, 45 minutes prepping the hair before the hair appointment started. Okay, so this is also part of the time, the hidden cost to your business. That's time that you didn't charge for. And also cleaning your workstation, cleaning services. A lot of people spend their time cleaning. That time you could spend it on paying a cleaning service. I'm not saying you should go and pay a cleaning service. I'm just telling you that if you clean your workstation, then that also should be part of your strategy for your pricing. Okay, ordering your stock, that's a whole different operations manager. Social media content, you're always posting, you're a social media manager. Bookkeeping, you're the one manually writing down in the notebook how much each service cost, how many services you did this week. That's hidden cost. That's something that a platform, a software like KB Matrix could be handling for you, right? And then scheduling appointments manually. So every time a client messages, you go and schedule the appointments in your calendar. Meanwhile, there's a booking app where clients can go and book, and it's already in your calendar on the app, and you already get automated message and following up with clients. So now you're the one calling clients. Oh, your appointment is in an hour. Your appointment is in 2 hours. When you could be using, a different service like that booking app to subsidize on this. So this hidden cost, I just pointed it out, not for you to go and add all the new prices to this and say your services are now, extravagant. I'm just pointing it out to you so that you can see the things that are eating time and money in your business that you can create into systems so that you don't have to spend time going up and down. Let me give an example. For number one, answering inquiries, right? If you take all your bookings on a platform like KB Matrix, you won't have to answer 10 different people the same thing. Okay, it's on there, your prices are there, everything is clear there. And if they need something specific or a custom service, you can create a custom service for them on the app and they can pay you there. It's that simple. Client consultation, same thing. We make it easier. Now you're not spending your money on consultation cost. It's now the platform that handles this, okay? Preparing for your appointment, that one is on you. Cleaning your workstation, ordering your stock, we don't handle that, but we help you with a lot more. Scheduling your appointments, easy. It happens automatically. Following up with your clients, the app sends all the in-app notifications and in-app follow-up messages that you need, okay, from before the booking to after the booking, so even down to leaving reviews after your service. So what I want you to take away from this is these are things that have been taking money from you or taking your time in your business that you have not put a price tag on. So your pricing isn't just paying for the 6 hours you spent braiding. It's paying for everything required to deliver a professional service before, during, and after the appointment, okay? So that's what you're thinking about when you're picking your prices. So let's talk about knowing your numbers, okay? I'm trying to round this up so you don't stay too long in these classes. I try to keep the classes short enough for attention span and, brain juice to still be very active and still be following what I'm saying. So when it comes to knowing your numbers, your prices should come from your business, not Instagram, okay, or any other stylist business. You shouldn't pick your prices based off, stylist in Birmingham charge this amount, so I'm going to charge this amount because stylist in Birmingham charge this amount. That's not how you should pick your prices. So the exercise I'm going to ask you to do in that your notebook, ask yourself, how much do I want to pay myself every month? Realistically, you're in the UK, you're in whichever country. If you're in the UK, France, the US, whichever country you are. I've been speaking in pounds because I'm basically my business basically UK based, so I'm speaking in pounds. But whichever country you're in, right? Ask yourself, how much do I want to pay myself every month? Now ask yourself, now calculate from how much you want to pay yourself every month, what your business costs are. So with this calculating what your business costs are is something as of today. Okay, it could change tomorrow, which is why you have to think like a CEO. You always know your numbers, you always review your prices. So you can say, how much is if I operate my business from home, how much does my business contribute to my rent? How much does my business contribute to my utilities? Because here's the thing, yes, you're at home, but you're using your electricity, your heating for your clients, you're using your TV, your Wi-Fi for your clients, okay? I need you to think about it this way. Now think about your phone bill, okay? Do you do calls? How much is it costing your business? If you use the KB Matrix app, a booking system, and you're not on the free tier, if you're on the basic or premium, which means you pay for the software because that's literally the best specs the app has to offer, right? Are you on the basic will cost you for $14.99 a month. Are you on the premium will cost you $24.99 per month. And so you find that these are the expenditures your business costs monthly, right? Then add them together. Add how much you want to pay yourself, add how much your business cost is. And when you add it together, you ask yourself, this is us trying to find the baseline for your revenue, okay? You ask yourself, how many appointments do I realistically have to get, or do I realistically want each month in order to hit this revenue goal? And it's okay if you have not figured it out just yet, but just write down these, write it down so you know that this is what you're thinking about. And that's basically how to know the basics. We're going to go into much more detail, but I want you to know that this is basically in terms of figuring out the bottom line revenue, okay? We're going to now do, the next class is going to do talking about numbers. Our pricing 102 class is going to be about numbers. So stick with us and join our community, and you'll get notified when we're doing the next class, the pricing 102 class, about knowing your numbers. So this is just the foundational knowledge you need. So with this you're able to calculate how much revenue you need to get in your business monthly in order for you to at least cover base in terms of paying yourself and your business paying its cost by itself, and not you paying yourself and taking money from your payments to pay for your business expenditure, okay? And then now we've come to building your own pricing strategy. I want you, when it comes to building your own pricing strategy, what I want you to do from today henceforth is to stop copying others. Okay? I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't copy others. So let me give an example. If you're in London and you've seen that box braids in London cost £150. You saw it on another stylist website that it cost £150, and so you decided to charge £150. Let me give an example. So these clients, you saw it on their website or their social media that they charge this amount, right? They are mobile hairstylists, or they braid from their home, and you own a salon. So basically your business model is not the same. The business model of being a home-based stylist and the business model of being a mobile stylist is all different from being a salon owner. So each of these different models have their own different specific expenditure and income range. Okay, the mobile hairstylist has to worry about transportation to and fro every single client's house. Now, somebody that owns a salon does not have to worry about transportation to and fro their client's house. All they have to worry about is transportation to their business and back home, okay? Then the people that braid from home don't have to worry about transportation because they sit in their house and clients come to them. Do you see why you shouldn't copy other people's prices? Because if you're a salon owner copying the price of a hairstylist that braids from her home, you're basically operating at a loss. Okay, so I want you to start building a pricing strategy that suits your specific business. So what is your business model? And I want you to write down or answer these 5 pricing questions. Okay, so what does it cost me to run my business? So if you're a mobile hairstylist, what does it cost me to travel within this region, within that region, within this region, back and forth? What does it cost me to carry like my to get my products? What does it cost me, to do the service timeline? How much is it costing me as a person to work in the business? And then how much do I want to pay myself? Because at the end of the day, we all started business to pay ourselves, right? How much do I want to pay myself? Your business should support you, like financially, and not just you trying to survive or you supporting the business. At some point when you realize that you're the one supporting the business, either you go and learn the skills, which is participating in this online training sessions, or you give up. Okay, I wouldn't encourage anybody to give up because I don't give up in anything. So now that you're with us, we'll keep making sure that you have the knowledge you need to not give up and to work and improve your business and how you show up in your business. Okay, so the next question you ask yourself is, how long does each service take? So remember that this question now is different for a mobile hairstylist. How long the service takes starts from when she traveled from her home. How long a service takes from a home stylist starts from when she prepped the extensions from her home. How long in her home? How long a service takes for a salon owner starts from when they open the salon or when the client walks into their salon. Sorry, not when they open the salon, when the client walks into their salon. So these are the things you should ask yourself. This is where it starts from. So you need to make it specific to you. I cannot tell you exactly how much to charge for your prices. Okay, I can't tell you how much to charge because the difference is a salon owner in Manchester could be paying less rent than a salon owner in London. So you copying a salon owner in London's prices, or a salon owner in London copying the prices of a salon owner in Manchester, is running at a loss. Okay, because their expenditure is less than yours. What value am I providing? This is part of the mindset shift. I need you to know you're not just selling a hairstyle. You're providing your expertise. You're providing convenience for your clients. You're providing professionalism, and you're providing your confidence to the role. Okay, then you ask yourself, is my pricing sustainable? We've touched on this sustainability few slides away. So go back and watch this replay or come on our group chat and we'll discuss it further. If you need support, if you need hand holding, if you need one of the coaches to support you with that, that's amazing. We'll be there for you. And then ask yourself, can my current prices support my business for the next 6 months to a year from now? And this is how you know where this is the questions you ask yourself when it comes to pricing in order for you to build your own specific pricing strategy. So when you're pricing, you don't just price on a blanket term. Not NATO said I should charge this. No, NATO doesn't know where your salon is. NATO doesn't know what it costs you to pay your electricity bill per month. NATO doesn't know how much your council tax per month is as well. NATO doesn't know how much your bill is. You know how much your expenditure is. And that is why you need to ask yourself, with everything I'm charging, is it sustainable for my business to grow? Okay? And now we are now to the part where I really want you to take away from this. If you want to take a screenshot, please take a screenshot. If you want to, like, whatever you want to do, please do. But don't walk away from this webinar without these practical tips, okay? This is a time for practical. This is time for you to learn. I want you to write down, this is going to be a slow burn. Okay, but I want you to do this work in order to see your business flourish in the next 3, 6, 4 months, 1 year. Okay, write down every way you spend money in your business. Every single thing you spend money on in your business, write it down. Right, if it's a fixed price, if it's a price range, write it all down. Write down how much you want to pay yourself from your business. Okay, write it down. Because whatever is written down, you now immediately actualize. It's now physical. It's not something that is real for you. Then also time your services. This timing your services, let me save you time on that. If you take your bookings on the KB Matrix app, all you have to do is click Start Service. And KB Matrix will time your service for you. So you're able to know which service costs you more time, which service you're spending more time on, and is costing you to lose money in your business. So yes, these are the intuitive things we tracked in KB Matrix that is part of that hidden cost that a lot of people are not talking about. Okay, so if you've not set up your KB Matrix profile, go and set it up today. Put pictures of your work, put your prices in detail, put everything clearly, and then we'll approve your profile and you'll be ready to start taking your clients' bookings. So whenever people DM you from different platforms, tell them to book you on KB Matrix. We're also going to touch on this on a class where we talk about positioning and branding and how to not cause confusion for your clients. Client attraction class, how to not cause confusion. So make sure you have a post that clearly says how clients can book you. So, you can book me on this app, you can book me on this platform. Straight away, they know where to go, so they are not confused. Anyways, now moving on to stop comparing your prices. If there's any price that you currently set in your business now that you picked up from another stylist, or you compared another stylist with you before you set that price, I want you to go and write it down, and I want you to put an asterisk beside it, because what I want you to do is to go back to the building your own pricing strategy, and do the maths that you need. Okay, knowing your numbers, building your own pricing strategy, and then find the sweet spots for the price for your business, not what other people are charging. Okay, then reflect on one pricing habit that you have to change. So if this is now coming back to that archetype, if you're the hairstylist that charges cheap because you feel like that's the way to get clients in the door, reflect on it and ask yourself truly, why do you have cheap prices? Is it because you really think that's the value of your service, or because you have some magical plan on how to convince clients to pay you double or 3 times that after you've gotten them in the door? Okay, if you ask yourself, what is the pricing habit? If you're not sure about the pricing habits you currently have, we can assess it in the group chat and we can talk about it, or come on the group chat and say, I've just finished this webinar, I'm a bit confused about this, and one of us will guide you on how to really do the practical and help you find that sweet spot for your business. Okay, so what I want you to do is come to the webinar, or come to the group chat, come to the group chat with your notes, come to the group chat, and we'll help you build your personalized pricing system in the next session. Okay, so have a lovely day, morning, week, anytime you're watching this. And I want you to know the key takeaway from this class is today isn't about increasing your prices. It's about increasing your awareness. Okay. If you're not aware of the hidden costs, if you're not aware of how you think as a hairstylist, if you're not aware of how you show up in your business, you keep going around in circles and you keep guessing. So once you understand your numbers, your confidence will grow as a hairstylist, and confident business owners always make better pricing decisions. So I want you to really think about it and ask yourself, how can I become a confident business owner? And it comes from all the different things you've learned in this webinar. I really hope you've taken notes. If you would love us to share the slides with you after this class, join our Business of Hair WhatsApp group or message us on Instagram, either via KB Matrix app page or the Business of Hair Academy page, and we'll send over the slides to you. Okay. I really enjoyed teaching this session, and I really enjoyed taking you guys through each and every slide. Please leave your review, leave your comments in the notes in the comment section. If you've implemented this, and come back and leave us a comment. Tell us how it went. Tell us what you've seen that works for your business. Tell us what didn't quite work, but you've implemented or you've done a hybrid version of it. Okay, so have a beautiful day, have a beautiful week, have a beautiful month, and I look forward to seeing you guys becoming confident business owners and make better pricing decisions. Bye.